We'll just chant the 11th and 12th verses which we just did once more and then go ahead. After me. Anta karana tad vritti sakshi chaitanya vigraha ananda rupa satyasan Kingnatmanam prapadyase Satyananda swarupam dhi Sakshinam bodha vigraham Chintayatmataya nityam Tyaktva dehadigam dhiyam. We are trying to find out the meaning of the word tvam in the sentence tat tvam asi. We have been told that all of Vedanta is in the sentence Tattvamasi, thou art that, you are that. In order to understand the meaning of this sentence, we must understand the meaning of the words. The words are you and that. You are that. Tat is tvam, that is or are, it's understandable. It denotes identity. But first we must understand what is meant by you and what is meant by that. So the first step is to find out what I am. Essential step in Advaita Vedanta is to clarify what I am. And that inquiry has been started here. Now, our main identification, the main stumbling block is our identification with the body. And so that's why we have to carefully see that we are not the body. These are not just arguments. They sound like arguments. So we have to understand what the logic is, what the argument here is. And being convinced about the argument, next we have to see that it's a fact. It's like, suppose someone tries to explain to me, Swami, you are not the shirt. You're wearing, but it's here. It's me. No, it's not you. Convince me. Well, earlier you were not wearing this shirt. You're wearing some other shirt. And later you may not wear this shirt, and yet you are there. When the shirt was not there, you were there. When the shirt is there, you are there. When this shirt is not there, you are still there. Therefore, you are not connected to this shirt. Temporarily, right now you are wearing this one, but it doesn't mean that you are it, or it forms any kind of integral part of your identity. Similarly, so that's an argument. Having heard that argument, I must come to see as a fact, yeah, I am not the shirt. I may be wearing it now, but I am not it. It's not me, I am not it. So similarly, the arguments are given to show that we are not the body. So we must understand the argument and then actually come to see that, yes, actually I am not the body. The body is there, but I am not limited by the body. I am not it. So those arguments, some of them will be given now. Let's look. So I have the difficult task of keeping an audience awake after a meal in the summer heat and with a topic like Vedanta. Rupadiman yataf pinda tato natma ghatadivat tato natma ghatadivad vyadadi mahabhuta vyadadi mahabhuta vikaratvacha kumbhavat vikaratvacha kumbhavat. The 13th verse says that this physical body is not the self. I am not this physical body. I'm just giving a running translation because here the translation has been done together for 13, 14 and 15. So I'm not the physical body because this body has attributes like form and sound and touch, just like a pot. That's one argument. Remember, it's an argument to convince me that I am not literally this body. Another argument, it's again like a pot. This body is made of material elements by the modifications of material elements. So let us see what is the argument here. Rupadiman yataha pindaha. Pinda here means the physical body. It's often translated as the gross body, but over time, gross, I don't know how it is here in Canada, but that's the same meaning. Especially if you see kids, they say gross, ew, it's gross. So gross means something yucky, and the physical body is yucky, especially if you open it up inside, you'll find all the gross stuff inside. By gross body just means physical body. So the physical material body, it has attributes. It is a form. Rupa means form. Adi, etc. Not just form. Like sound. Like if you take a pot, he gives an example of ghatadivat. Ghata means pot, etc. He gives an example. So take a pot. It has a form. You can see. It's a curved form. You can see it. It also has a sound. If you tap it, you will get a sound. In fact, in classical Carnatic music, it is a kumbha is played actually, an extraordinary musical instrument. It has sound. It has touch. So, yeah, if you can just, yeah. So if it has sound, it has touch. If you touch the pot, you can feel it. It may even have a smell. Who knows? And if you try to taste the pot, you will get an earthy taste out of it also. So a clay pot. Suppose it's a clay pot. It has a form. It has sound. It has smell, taste, touch. This is exactly like that. Look at the physical body. Physical body has a form. You can see it. You can touch it. It's something. It has texture. You can touch it. You can smell it, and especially on a hot and sweaty day, you can smell it all the more. You can hear it. If it is your tummy is rumbling with hunger, you can hear the sound. If you lick the hand, you will get some taste also. The physical body is an object to all of our senses. All five senses objectify this body exactly as they do with a pot. Just as the pot is not the self. I am not a pot. I am not a table. I am not a bottle. Even though there is a bottle and I see it, but that doesn't mean I am that. I see it. I experience it. I can see it. I can touch it. I can hear it. I can taste it. Just like that, I am not the bottle, even though I know it so well. I know this body also. I am not the body. It's an object. This is the argument. Consider carefully how all the senses operate on a pot or a bottle, and see exactly in the same way it operates on the body. So why do I say I am this one? I never say I am that one. One of our Swamis is fond of this verse, which meant Swami Virajanandaji. He quotes it in his book Paramartha Prasanga. The world, the universe and the body are revealed to me all together at the same time. Either I am all of it or none of it. The universe and this body are revealed to me at once. Either I am all of this or none of it. The mistake we make is, our instinctive mistake is, I am this much. Up to the skin, up to the tip of the fingernails, I am. Beyond that, not me. That's the other. This is me. Vedanta says, all of it is you. Or, why is all of it me? How is it all that it's me? It all appears in you, the consciousness. First, we have made a shift. I am awareness. I am consciousness. In me, the consciousness, mind appears, body appears, and the world appears. This whole thing is in me. And for this we have a good example in our dreams. So when we wake up from our dreams, in our dreams we saw people and a place like this, and I was there in my own dreams. I had a body in the dream. When I woke up, I realized that either I was all of it. It's true that all of it, everything that I saw in the dream, everybody I saw in the dream, including this body, all of it was this one dreaming mind. Or you can say, oh, it was just a dream. I was none of it. Not even that person in the dream. I was none of it. It's an appearance. It's an appearance in the dreaming mind. Just as the world, including all the people, including oneself, is an appearance in the dreaming mind. Similarly, in this world, the world and all the people and everything, and including oneself, is an appearance in consciousness. What consciousness? You. What we did so far, the two verses which we distinguished consciousness from body-mind. I am consciousness experiencing body-mind. I am not a body-mind with consciousness. So this is the argument. There is an inner argument here. What he's actually referring to is Vaisheshika philosophy. The Vaisheshika philosophy, reality, they have 7 categories. And Vedanta is very simple that way. You might think Vedanta is complicated. Vedanta is very simple. Only one reality. Brahman. What about the rest? It's an appearance. So one reality. In Vaisheshika you have 7 realities. Dravya, Guna, Karma, Samavaya, and there are different, Vishesha, Samanya, Vishesha. Then there is Abhava, one more. But there, substances are called Dravya. So the table is substance. This body is a substance. Earth and water and all of these are substance. A car is a substance. A thing. Need not be solid. Could be solid, liquid, gaseous. It could be physical, it could be mental. Substance, a thing. And substances have qualities. So a body may be tall or short, overweight or skinny, maybe white or brown or black, and so these are qualities. Color is a quality, size and shape are qualities of living beings, even living, non-living are qualities. Qualities of what? Of a substance. So you have a world in which there are substances, things, called in Sanskrit Dravya. So this is a Dravya. And those things have qualities called Guna, quality. Qualities may be of many types. And the qualities are in the Dravya. Now the thing is that when you are experiencing the quality, remember this is not Advaita, this is Vaisheshika philosophy. It's a very common sense approach. When you are experiencing the qualities, you are experiencing the substance. I'll repeat that. When you are experiencing the qualities, you are experiencing the substance. If I'm looking at a blue car, I can see a blue car there. So, and I'm looking at the blue of the car, I'm actually looking at the car. Notice, in a very subtle way, the eyes actually don't see a car, they see shape and color. So when I'm seeing that shape and I'm seeing that color blue and the shape of the car, I'm actually seeing the car. Okay, that's simple enough, common sense. So when you are seeing the pot, the shape of the pot, you touch it, you feel the texture of the pot, you tap it, you feel the sound of the pot, the shape, sound, color, size of the pot. When you are seeing the pot. So here he is saying, you see the shape, size, color of the pot. Similarly, you see the shape, size, color of the body here. You are seeing the body. Just as when you see those attributes, you are seeing a thing, a pot, an object, not the self. Similarly, you are seeing all sorts of characteristics here, size and shape and all. You are seeing an object, not the self. That's the point here. What I said just now is that a little deeper, there is the language of Dravya and Guna here, substance and quality here. But the logic, the point is the same. An object out there is not the self, and the body is also an object out there. It's not the self. Somebody may argue, Shankaracharya gives this argument in another book, Upadesha Sahasri, and we are inclined to reply, look, prima facie, on the surface of things, it seems to be a good argument, but really it is not. Here is the table. It's an object. Yeah, and I don't think I'm the table. If you hit the table, it's nothing to me. If you burn the table, it's nothing to me. But if you hit the body or burn the body, I can't say it's an object, it's nothing to me. I feel it. It hurts. There's pain. So this is the objection raised to this kind of argument. And what's the answer? Shankaracharya says the same logic. Look a little more carefully. You say it hurts. Yes, it hurts. If my body is burnt, the Sishya, the disciple says, if the body is burnt, it hurts. That hurt, pain, is it experienced or not? Yes, it's experienced. Then it's also an object of experience. Just as this is an object of experience, the color is an object of experience, the touch is an object of experience, the pain in the body is also an object of experience. So, if it is an object, then I am the awareness to which it is an object. It is not I. Vedanta says, look at the chutzpah of it. We say, I am in pain. Why? Because I feel it. Vedanta says, you are not in pain. Why? Because you feel it. If you feel it, it's an object. It's not making sense? Let me put it as simply as suddenly somebody comes and pinches me and I go, ow! But if I'm aware and if I've got all this logic down ready to apply it and say, now, test case, come and pinch me or I'll pinch myself. Let me pinch myself. And there is that ow, but that ow is now an object of awareness. I am aware of it. As I'm aware of the body, I'm aware of the action of pinching. Now there's a pain coming. I'm aware of the pain too. You can see it's an object. You can actually apply it. But until enlightenment, don't go all the way. Don't go to the doctor and the dentist and say, all right, I don't need anesthesia. You're asking for trouble. There is a level to which this understanding will work, an argument will work, but it's quickly overwhelmed by the sheer sensory input of extreme pain. Then you will struggle. You can't hold on to that anymore. But an enlightened person, can they hold on? Yes, they can. A truly enlightened person can hold. There's many such examples. Swami Turiyananda is a classic example. I often give that example. In his Sri Ramakrishna himself, cancer in his throat, is dying, and then Turiyananda Hari Maharaj asks him, how are you feeling, sir? Terminal patient, cancer, terminal cancer. He says, it hurts, I can't eat. Truth. He's admitting the truth. And then Hari Maharaj says to him, but sir, I see you are in great bliss. How can you be dying of cancer and it hurts and you can still be in great bliss? And then Sri Ramakrishna said, oh, the rascal has found me out. The rascal has found Shala Dhuraniyat. That means he admits that's also the truth. That it hurts, I can't eat. True. In a deeper sense, I am in bliss. It's perfect. How is that? How is it possible? I am all right, even though at the physiological level there is pain, there is a cancer, and actually this body is dying. I'm perfectly all right. How can you say that? You can say that if you take the standpoint of awareness and consciousness. It's an experience. It just shifts the paradigm about that experience. Then the next argument. Vyadadi mahabhuta vikaratvacha kumbhavat. So, this body is a combination of material elements. Those material elements are not the self. If I take a little bit of earth and water and fire, heat, do I say I am that? No. This body is basically a more sophisticated combination of those things. All kinds of elements are there, minerals are there, and that go into forming these cells. After all, that's what we eat. Chemicals, that's what we are eating. Swami, what a way of saying delicious food we had. You're saying chemicals? Yes, it's chemicals basically. We are building up and maintaining this biological machine. Those are Vyad. Vyad means sky. Adi, etc. etc. means sky, air, fire, water, earth. The ancient cosmology, most ancient cultures had this kind of fire, air, water, earth cosmology. It's not the time to go into the details, but there's an inner logic to it. Why? In Vedanta, in Sankhya, you find the inner logic to it. How do we experience the world? We experience it as form. You see around? Colors and shapes. We experience it as sound. Yes, I'm speaking, you hear sound. We are experiencing the world as sound. We experience it as touch. We experience it as taste and smell. So we have 5 senses. We experience in this way. Now these are attributes. Again, the Vaisheshika ontology, that there are attributes and these must be existing in something. The form is not hanging there. There must be a substance behind it. The smell is not just a smell. Something is smelling. We say that. The taste is not just a taste in the tongue. There is a very dish which is delicious. That's what is so tasty. So there are substances which have these qualities. Now, here is the logic. Form is the quality of the substance called fire. Sound is the quality of the substance called akasha. Not exactly space, but akasha. And then taste is the quality of a substance called water. Then what else is there? Smell is or touch is the quality of a substance called air. And then taste, smell is the quality of a substance called earth, Prithvi. So the way we are experiencing the world, there is a reality which is appearing to us in these 5 ways. That reality is 5 elements. So according to the Sankhyan cosmology, Akasha, the primordial element, has the attribute of sound. We experience Akasha as sound. And then air is a primordial element which is the element which has the qualities of sound and touch. Fire has the qualities of or attributes of sound, touch and form. And then water has the qualities of sound, touch, form and taste. Earth has the qualities of sound, touch, form, taste and smell. So these 5 elements may sound very, very simplistic. Oh, they just looked at the world and they thought there is space, there is some heat, that's fire, there is water and there is earth. That's how universe is. No, there is actually the deeper epistemological view of how we know the world is in this way. I know there can be many questions if you're thinking about it. You might think that, but that's just us humans. There are animals with an electrical sense. There are bats with sonar and dolphins with. So what about that? That's true. They see the world in a slightly different way. Remember, all of this cosmology which we are talking about is part of these systems like Sankhya or Yoga or Vedanta. They're all systems, they're methodologies of guiding us back to enlightenment. They were not doing physics there. These darshanas, so they are very human-centric. They're trying to describe our experience of the world. No wonder they talk only about five senses. They're trying to describe our experience so that from the experience we are having right now, we can be guided back into who we are. If they started describing a bat, that won't be very interesting, but it will not help us in enlightenment. Okay. Vyadadi Mahabhuta. Mahabhuta is the 5 elements. I am not going into details there. Vikaratvacha Kumbhavat. This body is a combination of these 5 elements, modification of these 5 elements. That's all it is. Just as you would not consider a lump of water and clay and some air or something as I am that, you should not consider this as I am this. This very interesting email I got from a doctor, I think in Scotland. He said that I have been examining scans of human bodies for so many years, for 30 years now. Just now I had an epiphany. I'm looking at the scan, detailed scan of the innards of the body, and I said to myself, where am I in all of that? It's a thing. It's a sophisticated biological machine. Where am I in all of that? I feel I'm here. And yet, in all of the things that we can examine here, all of the things, with the more details we go, we don't find ourselves in here. It's a thing. It's a combination of elements. Vyadadi Mahabhuta Vikaratvacha Kumbhavat. Again, like a pot. So the ancient philosophers in India are very fond of that pots. Now, a question comes from the student who's been listening very carefully. So I am not the body, not the mind also. Why not the mind? Object. I am aware of it. It's not me. Then he asks a question. 14. Anatma yadi pindoyam ukta hetu balan matah karamalakavat sakshat atmanam pratipadaya. He's saying, all right, you have shown me the body, pinda, anatma. It's not the self. I am not the body. Okay, I get it. Yeah. Why? Ukta hetu balat. On the force of the arguments you have given me. What are the arguments you have given me? This pot, as I see the attributes of the pot, the color, the shape, the sound and the taste and all of it. Therefore, it's a substance. I'm seeing the attributes. I see the shape, color, sound, all of this of the body. It's a substance, not me. As I am not the pot, I am not the body also. And mind, more subtle argument, but same argument holds for the mind. The mind doesn't have a form or color or shape, but still it's an object of experience. Therefore, I am not the body. Another argument was, it's made of material substances. A mass of material substances, I mean like matter, I wouldn't say I am that. But about the body, I'm saying I am this. So I am not the body. It's just a modification of matter. Good, I got it. Now the problem is this. The question is to find out who am I. Whatever the candidates for I, they have all been rejected. Not the body, not the mind. You ask me, who am I? And I put forward this, I am this. Alright, then you showed me that I cannot be this. It's a body. I say, no, I am not this exactly, but in the body, you can't see, but in the body, I have thoughts, feelings, emotions. I feel I am here. That thing, call it the mind. In Vedanta, it's called Sukshma Sharira, subtle body. I am that. That also I am not, because I have been convinced it's an object. I am aware of it. Now, all the candidates I had there to show, who am I? I am out of candidates. You say, please show me who you are. I can't show. So what I showed, now you have convinced me, I cannot be any of them. They are not Atma. Then tell me what is Atma. You tell me. Okay, wise guy. Why don't you tell me? Enlighten me. And he says, not only that, look at the demand of the student. Don't give me theories. Pure consciousness, witness. No. Sakshat, directly. How directly? Karamalakavat. Like putting a fruit, the myrobalan fruit. Like putting a fruit on your palm, the palm of your hand. As clearly as you would see that. You show me the self, Atma. You can't. But I won't take any theories for an answer. You have to show it to me. And look at the answer. He said, okay, I'll show you. Not quite like a fruit in the palm of your hand. And you can't do that. If you showed the Atma in the palm of your hand here, that would be a disaster. Why? Remember, the self, who am I? It cannot be objectified. It need not be objectified. And it must not be objectified. You must not show it as a fruit in the palm of your hand. Then it would not be you. Who am I? Here, look at the palm. I'm going to put you on your palm of your hand. Then who is the one seeing it? Am I that one or here? So he says, now the teacher answers. Ghata drashta ghatad bhinna. Ghatad bhinna. Sarvatha na ghato yatha. Sarvatha na ghato yatha. Deha drashta tatha deho. Deha drashta tatha deho. Naham ityavadharaya. Ityavadharaya. The form, etc., like jars and other things. And also because it is a modification of ether and other great elements like a pitcher. The disciple says, if on the strength of these arguments the gross body is accepted to be the non-self, please demonstrate directly the self like an emblic myrobalan fruit or any fruit placed on the palm of one's hand. Alright, so I'm out of answers. You show me. And the teacher says, just as a seer of a jar is in all respects distinct from it, so know it for certain that you, the seer of the body, are by no means one with it. This we have done earlier. The seer and the seen. One simple principle which we always use. The seer and the seen must be different. The very eye, the eyes are not what they can see. Whatever you can see with the eyes are different from the eyes. In fact, the only thing that the eyes cannot see are the eyes themselves. Right? I can see everything there. Say, but Swami, you can't see far away. I can see it if you give me a telescope. You can't see what's behind you. I can see it if you show me on a TV screen or I turn around. Eyes can see. With the proper instruments, you can see anything that can be seen. But they can't see themselves. Somebody is looking puzzled. Look at a mirror, Swami. That's a reflection of your eyes. You're not seeing them directly like you see this. You can't see the eyes directly like this, the way you're seeing this. Or a picture. You take a selfie. That's a picture of your eyes. But you're not seeing the eyes directly. So the eyes cannot see themselves directly. Similarly, so eyes are separate from whatever they see. Similarly, you, the knower of the body, must be different from the body itself. Deha drashta tatha deho naham ityavadharaya. You might say that, but you already told this. I asked, the student said, show me what I am directly. Say, I am. You're not listening. It's like, I want to see my eyes. Show me my eyes. Then the answer is that just as the knower of the pot is different from the pot, the seer of anything must be different from all those things. So whatever you see, that's not the eyes. The eyes are the one doing the seeing. You want to see the eyes. This is the way to see the eyes. Whatever you look at anything. It's just like this. What is the proof that the bottle is there? I see the bottle. That's the proof. What's the proof that the Swami is sitting here? You see the Swami. That's the proof. Seeing something is the proof of its existence. Okay? Now, what is the proof that that I have eyes? Seeing the eyes should be the proof. Seeing X is the proof that X is there. Seeing the eyes should be the proof that the eyes are there. But you're not seeing the eyes anywhere. So does that mean that the eyes are not there? No. The actual proof of seeing the eyes is, proof of the existence of the eyes is seeing anything. Just seeing is the proof of the existence of the eyes. Similarly, that's the answer he's giving. Whatever you experience is not you. Whatever you experience is not you. It's an object of your experience. But the fact that you are experiencing tells you what you are. Nobody can deny that I am experiencing. But the fact that I am experiencing tells me what I am. Just as the fact that I am seeing tells me I have eyes. Doesn't matter what I see. I have eyes. Similarly, the fact that I am experiencing what? Form, seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, touching, thinking, remembering, desiring, hating, spiritual, non-spiritual, all of these are experiences. They all tell me one thing. I am consciousness. Don't even put a label to it. Just see what you are. By the fact that one of the most beautiful definitions of Atma, of the self, is Anubhava Matra Param Brahma. Experience itself is the ultimate reality. Be careful there. So, I am experiencing things. So, this is the ultimate reality. No. The addition of the Matra, experience alone with a capital A, where we leave out the experienced object. We leave out the person who is experiencing. And we just take the first personness, the presence of this experience. The awareness itself. You'll see immediately all objective things disappear. Just the awareness is left. So, I am that awareness itself. But it's not an object. So, actually he is giving a clue here. The question was, show me the self directly. He is showing here actually. But also pointing out how the self is not an object. Therefore, I can't put it on the palm of your hand. Now, he takes it forward. Another analysis, a more detailed analysis to show that I am pure consciousness. 16. Evam indriyadrignaham. Evam indriyadrignaham. Indriyani ti nischinu. Indriyani ti nischinu. Mano buddhistatha prano. Mano buddhistatha prano. Naham mityavadharaya. Naham mityavadharaya. Thus ascertain that you, the seer of the senses, are not the senses themselves, and know for certain that you are neither the mind, nor the intellect, nor the vital force. Okay, before I go into this, notice the word which is being used again and again. Avadharaya, avadharaya. This is the Sanskrit word dharana. It means to, literally to hold, stay with it, assimilate it. So it has all the three components of Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. Listen to this teaching, be clear about what the teaching is. Second, understand it so that you can say, I get it. And third is, stay with it until it's a living reality. This process is avadharana. It requires attention and close effort to stay with it. Avadharana. There is a place where in Sri Ramakrishna, people are talking about Vedanta in front of him. He doesn't contribute to the discussion. He listens carefully. All this discussion is going on. He listens carefully, and then he just makes one comment. In Bengali, he says, "Kothagulo to bhalo, dharana hawa chai." This talk is good. These words are good, but there must be dharana. You must assimilate it. So the assimilation requires three things. Listen carefully. Not your own take on it. I have had people who listen to Vedanta talks, then write a book about it. My new idea, approach to Vedanta. That's not the point. You can write a book if it helps you, but it's not the point to come up with new theories and new ideas. Nobody's interested. So, better you listen carefully and make it your own. How do you make it your own? This avadharaya. Hold on to it. Listen. Once you have listened, when do you know listening is complete? When you can say, this was taught. This is exactly what was said. So whole texts used to be memorized at that time. At least now you don't have to memorize the text. You will empty the entire tent. People will run away if you ask them to memorize the text. Tibetan monks, even now, they spend years and years memorizing the texts. Thousands and thousands of verses. Whole day chanting, reading, chanting, and whole night, almost late into the night, sitting and revising with no lamp, no light, darkness. So what you read in the daytime, you repeat to yourself night time. Hard work. And you know something very interesting, this Dreyfus, George Dreyfus, I think, he was the first Westerner to be trained as a traditional Tibetan monk. Dalai Lama gave him special permission in the 1970s, 80s. He's a professor. So he did the whole course which a Tibetan monk goes through, the training. And then he came back and he's the professor who's teaching Tibetan Buddhism here. He's written a book, The Sound of Two Hands Clapping. No, that doesn't ring a bell. You know the Zen saying, what is the sound of one hand clapping? This is Zen Kuan. And so again, I mean, he's played on that. He says the sound of, normally how do two hands clap? And you see the Tibetan monks when they debate. Have you seen videos of actual Tibetan monks debating? You know, so they will be, one will be sitting, who has a point to prove. The other one is the attacker, the one who is asking questions and debating. And when he makes a point, so there are gestures, elaborate gestures. This is a challenge, or your point has been cut down, or here's a challenge before you. They will do this, like this. The sound of two hands clapping. Basically, the debating techniques of Tibetan monks. So he says, we used to spend hours and hours memorizing, and how difficult it is memorizing in the original Tibetan without knowing the meaning of the Tibetan. Just sounds. How difficult it is. He says it's very difficult, and at first I used to think, what's the point of this? Isn't it much better to understand the meaning and then memorize? It's actually much faster if you understand the meaning and then memorize. You know what it means. But then he says, after some time, I saw the logic of this. Very interesting. If you understand the meaning and memorize, very soon you'll forget also. You'll remember the meaning, you'll forget the words. If you just memorize it as sound, like a song or a tune, you will remember it. It's harder, but you will not forget. He said, I saw that. When I tried to understand and memorize, immediately I memorized, but within a few days it was gone. Anyway, so in the old days, you'd have to memorize the text. Here at least, the gist of the teaching we must know. Second, so when you know the gist of the teaching, this is what the teaching was, I can tell you in my own words, your listening is complete. Now next, when you say, I can tell you the teaching and I understand it also, your understanding is complete. And then when you say, I can tell you the teaching, I understand the teaching, now I am trying to see it in my own experience, that's the nididhyasana. If you do that, then that is called avadharana. You are assimilating it, dharana. That to that person who asked Sri Ramakrishna, teach me in one sentence so that I become enlightened. And Sri Ramakrishna said, Brahman is real, the world is an appearance. We keep hearing this all the time in Vedanta. But then he added, 80 dharana karo, which is not so easy. This is that avadharana, to make it a real thing for you. So now, let me explain this verse. Here he is doing the Pancha Kosha Vichara. Same thing, what we did earlier, in the few verses earlier, same thing in a new technique. This is borrowed from the Taittiriya Upanishad, the second chapter of the Taittiriya Upanishad. Same question again, start with the body. The body is called the Annamaya, the modification of food. What we just ate now, that is being slowly and surely modified into this body. We start with that because that's what we think we are. Am I the body? And then we examine. The body changes from birth to babyhood to childhood to youth, middle age, old age. It changes so much. But I am the same one. I was the one in the baby's body. You might say, no, I have changed. But when we say I have changed, if you inquire closely, what do you mean, sir, when you say you have changed? The answer will always be some change in the body or the mind. Notice, I am the same one in the baby's body, the child's body, teenager's body, middle-aged body, old body. That is a commonly accepted intuition. It's accepted by law. Everybody also says you are the same one. The law also holds you to be the same person. Otherwise, you couldn't inherit your property from your grandparents or parents if you're not in the baby. The same one. But then the question is, how can I, the same one, the unchanging one, be the changing body? How can changing and unchanging be the same thing? Not only that, apply the seer and the seen, which we just did. Just as the seer of the pot is different from the pot, the seer of the body must be different from the body. So, this physical body, changing, I am unchanging. It is the seen, the object of five senses, I am the seer. It is not conscious, I am conscious of it. In Sanskrit, all of these can be summarized in few words. Savikaratvat, drishyatvat, jadatvat, naham deha. Because the body is subject to continuous change, because the body is an object of my senses, an object, and because the body is not sentient, not aware, I who am aware, I who am the experiencer, I who am unchanging, cannot be the body. Then the same thing is applied. Look inwards, Upanishad says, Anyo antaratma pranamaya, the vital sheath, prana inside. I am the pranamaya. And then here he says senses. Am I the sensory system? Am I life itself? That also we see, it is changing, subject to continuous change. Health, illness, vigor, weakness, hunger, thirst. I was hungry and thirsty, then I had a nice lunch, now I am full. That is prana. I was energetic, now I am sleepy and the Swami is putting me to sleep. All this philosophy. That is prana. Am I the prana? No, changing. I am unchanging. It's an object, I am experiencing it. I am the experiencer. How am I experiencing prana? Don't you follow the breath? Mindfulness, mindfulness breathing. Yeah, it's something experienced. I am the experiencer. I am conscious of it. It is not conscious of me. Savikaratvat, drishyatvat, jadatvat, naham prana. Because it is changing, because it's an object, because it is insentient, I the sentient, seer subject, and unchanging, I cannot be the prana. Then the Upanishad says, look inwards, you're searching for who am I? Look inwards, what else is there? These thoughts are there. So am I the thoughts? Anyantaratma manomaya, look at the thoughts. But then you're looking at the thoughts. That means the thoughts are objects. Emotions are objects. Memories are objects. Even the ego, I, just say to yourself, I Sarvapriyananda sitting here, that I is also an object because I'm aware of it. Then I cannot be the mind also. Because it is changing, because it is seen, because it is insentient. I am aware of it. The mind is not aware of me. So because of these reasons, I am not the mind. Turn inwards, anyantaratma vijnanamayaha. The self is not the mind. Inwards, the intellect, the one which is thinking all this now, trying to understand. Is that the self? Am I intelligence? I had a professor once with whom I would have this argument. I was a youngster. But he couldn't just wrap his idea around the concept of consciousness or awareness. He always got stuck at intelligence. Professor, he always got stuck at intelligence. Vedanta says intelligence is Atma, right? I am this intelligent being. This intelligence is Atma. So no, it is the witness of that intelligence. So Vijnanamaya, the sheath of intelligence, that too I am not. Same arguments. Savikaratva, Drishyatva, Jaratva, I am not that. When you push further, blankness, the Anandamaya Kosh will come. If you ignore the world, if you ignore the body, if you ignore the prana, the mind, shut down the intellect, stop, blank, you will get a blankness there. Something like we experience in deep sleep. That's called the Anandamaya. But that too comes and goes. That too is the same thing. It's an experience. It is not aware. We are aware of it. Therefore, I am not the Anandamaya. This is called Panchakosha Vichara. An investigation into the five. What investigation? Basically, like the student, he is asking this teacher, show me the Atma. And the teacher says, what are the candidates? What possible answers could there be? What is the Atma? Body, vital sheath, mental sheath, intellect sheath, Anandamaya, the bliss sheath. What is the Atma? None of them. He rejects all of them. Then what is it? It is you, the consciousness to which these five sheaths appear. Here the 10th man story I often tell. If those who have heard me, I will not go into it. All these five are objects in order of subtler and subtler, inner and inner, sukshma and antara. Body is the grossest, most physical, outwards. Inwards, prana. More inwards, more subtle, mind. More inwards, more subtle, intellect. More inwards, more subtle, blank. But all of them are appearing to consciousness. But that consciousness is not, you come to that Anandamaya and then say, more inwards, more subtle, you will not find any object. All right. So this is Adi Daivika.
Swami,
Yeah.
define the prana.
The prana. Yeah, the pranamaya kosha, which is, there are five pranas, you will find in Vedanta Sara description is given. The Vyana, Udana, Samana, the five Pancha prana are there. Pancha prana. Pancha vayus are there. And they perform various activities in this physical body. But all of that we are not aware of. It's enough if you take the tip of the iceberg, just the breath. And then you notice it changes, it comes and goes. You notice it's an object, I am aware of it. And then you notice it is not sentient, I am aware, it's not aware. That's enough. Just the tip of the iceberg you noticed, and the whole prana is like that. And of course prana beyond the body is also there, the whole cosmic prana is there. But still, our point here is, it's not me, it's not I, it's an object. So I am the witness of the five sheets. Again, this is an answer to the question. Show me the Atma directly. Here I am showing you. What you directly know is the body, yes, and you are the experiencer of the body. Is the prana? Yes, you are the experiencer of the prana. Is the mind, the intellect, even the Anandamaya Kosha, the deep sleep state? You are the one who experiences all of these, but none of these you are. Pancha Kosha Vilakshanatma. It may sound theoretical, but if one gets it, it's not theoretical. It's the most direct of all things. Everything else depends on this consciousness, which you are. In what sense? Even the experience of having a body, even the experience of enjoying and suffering, even the experience of breathing is possible. I mean, the experience is possible because you are aware. Notice, I am not saying that the body and digestion and breathing are possible or not. The experience which you are having is possible because you are consciousness. And you are the consciousness. You are not the experienced object, whatever the experienced object. And that's so direct. It's more direct than putting it in the palm of your hand. What the teacher is saying is, when you put the fruit in the palm of your hand and say, oh, I'm having a direct experience, there's something even more direct than that. You, the one who are having the experience. Which is closest to you yourself, your awareness. So that's the direct answer. One possible objection could be, look, you are analyzing, you are splitting up the body, mind into different parts and then saying, you're not this one, you're not this one, you're not this one. But what I meant was, I am the whole thing. I am the whole package. This body, mind, intellect, all of it together, this is what I am. Is that a good answer? Answer we'll see next. 17. Sanghatopi yatha naham, Sanghatopi tatha naham, Sanghatopi tatha naham, iti drishya vilakshanam, iti drishya vilakshanam, drashtaram anumanena, drashtaram anumanena, nipunam sampradharaya, nipunam sampradharaya. Convince yourself that you are also not the combination of the gross and the subtle bodies, and ascertain accurately by means of inference that you, the seer, are quite distinct from the seen. So an objection. Look, you are pulling a fast one on me. I am this combination. I am not a physical body. I am physical body with life forces in it, a living physical body with mind and senses, with an intellect and an ego, and a storehouse of memory. This totality is what I am. Nonsense. It's like saying there's a heap of sand and a heap of clay and a little bit of water and a few stones. I am not any of them separately. You put them together, then I will be that one. Impossible. You know why? On the surface of it, it seems to be a good argument that when you put all these together, something happens and I am there. This is what I am. Not separately. No. The reason is, one reason I can give you is the hard problem of consciousness. David Chalmers has coined that term, hard problem of consciousness. If you Google it, it's a big, big issue in consciousness studies. Even with our most advanced instruments, the last thing that we can see, the most subtle thing that we can see when we scan our nervous system, our brains, is tiny bits of electrical activity, which is still a thing. Living body and the nervous system and the living brain, finally what do they produce? They produce these little bursts of electricity in the brain. So, okay, and that's very strongly correlated with our experience, conscious experience. If you talk or report pain, pleasure, and the neuroscientist will point out certain things in the brain that is corresponding to your experience of pain and pleasure. But here is the crucial thing. Where is the jump? Where does this little electrical activity in the brain become conscious experience? There is no logical way of bridging that gap. Many people don't get it. Even now there are neuroscientists, and philosophers of mind. Daniel Dennett is one of them. So their idea, Patricia Churchland is one of them. So their idea is that, look, we don't know what exactly, we can't explain consciousness yet, but let's keep doing neuroscience and brain science and we will get an answer. Here he is saying you can't, you cannot. From things you will get more things. Consciousness is not a thing. From objects you will get more objects. Consciousness is not an object. You can't jump out of that into something else. It's called a category mistake in philosophy. You can't jump out of object into subject. Let me elaborate, give you one more argument like this. I had this talk with a professor of, he's in City University in New York, and he teaches philosophy and life science. And so he says, Swami, I am convinced, he's a reductionist, materialist. He says, I am convinced that consciousness is a property of a living brain. That's it. It's not all pervasive out there, reality, but no, it's something produced by a living brain. How it is, I can't tell you, because we don't know yet. But give us 30, 40 years. So this is called promissory materialism. Promise means I promise to give you a materialistic explanation, but I need more time. And so the example he gave me, follow this example carefully. He said, just the way you are talking, 100 years ago people used to say, life is a mystery, we can't understand life. No matter how much science advances, we can't understand life, what life is. But that's not true. Today we have understood life down to the molecular level, and that's for me is enough explanation. So I understand what life is, more or less. Similarly, with consciousness right now, we can't explain it in terms of brain and neuron and electrical activity in the neurons, but we will be able to do so. Give us 30, 40 years. From a Vedantic perspective, you can see the big error that is being made. Sure, you can explain life in terms of more basic physical processes, because life is a thing, an object. And the molecular level explanation you give for life is also a thing, an object. What do I mean by object? Anything that you are aware of. Prana is something you are aware of. So it's an object. A higher level object can be explained in terms of more fundamental objects. That's what you call explanation. So it is perfectly alright from a Vedantic perspective or Sankhya perspective also, that you can explain a natural process in terms of more fundamental natural processes. Objective process in terms of more fundamental objective realities. Life in terms of molecular processes. But consciousness is not an objective thing. Now you are trying to say, I will explain the subject in terms of some objective processes. Do you see the jump you are making? Many people don't see the jump. There was a cartoon, Consciousness Explained. Two scientists are standing there. One scientist is like, he's probably the student, another one is the guide. Student is writing down complicated equations on the board. Step 1, equation. Step 2, equation. Then step 3. Step 4 is equation. But in between step 3, a miracle. It's written a miracle. Yeah, it is not vague. It seems vague because we are used to having specific objects. A thing or an objective understanding. But it is not vague. It is in fact more powerful, more direct than any object. It's just that it's not out there. It's here. It's you. That's why it seems a little vague to us. Swami Vivekananda in London, he was talking about Jnana Yoga, and there he says this, that the self cannot be known by any means. But then he says, but you must not go away with the idea that it is unknown and unknowable. In fact, it is more than known. To know this table, these are his words, to know this table, first you know yourself and then you know the table. What it means is first consciousness, then things are revealed to consciousness. Yeah. So in that sense, the more you understand it, the more it seems it is more certain than anything else in the world. Everything else can be doubted, as Descartes discovered, in his skeptical project. I can doubt everything except the one who's doubting. To doubt that, you still have to exist.
Right, so my question now, Swami, is you must not hold on to it, but that is itself is an idea. So what are we trying to what is the process of dharana on that? Because contemplating on that itself is a thought, which is an object.
Yes.
So how do we go about it?
Let it be an object. See, an interesting thing. The question here is, after all this we are doing, at some point you will come to this doubt. all this we are doing, these are also thoughts. If I am not the mind, all of this is going on at the level of the mind. All of this, at the level of the intellect. All learning, all Vedanta, all knowledge, even enlightenment. Still at the level, something, mind has something to do with it. No problem at all. That's what the mind is designed to do. Somewhere inside our idea is, if my real nature, the Atman, is beyond the mind, then what's the use of dwelling around at the level of the mind? Of course there is. Where is ignorance? Ignorance is in the mind. So where should knowledge come? Knowledge should come in the mind. It's just that the ignorance, if I was ignorant of Spanish, for example, which I am, now the ignorance of Spanish is there in my mind. The knowledge of Spanish should also come in my mind. Then only the ignorance will be removed. That's how knowledge and ignorance works. In this case, only the ignorance is about the real nature of myself. And the knowledge also will be about the real nature of myself. And it has to come in the mind, no problem. In fact, it must come in the mind. But it will refer to something beyond the mind. A good example is, I like this one. When I say, I am happy. I am happy. But what said I am happy? The tongue. Tongue is not happy. Where is happiness? In the mind. But the mind cannot speak. Speaking is the job of the tongue and the voice box and the vocal apparatus. So that one said I am happy, but referring to happiness in the mind. And that's perfectly all right. It's a job. The instrument is the tongue to speak. Similarly, the job of using knowledge to point to my real nature, which is beyond intellect, beyond knowledge. But that's the job of the intellect. So this thought, I am not the body, not the mind, and I am this awareness which is illumining body and mind, this is what we must hold on to. Not as an affirmation, as continuously keeping to see that it is so.
Pranam Maharaj, my name is Shabata. My question is, the difference between the second stage which you said, which is understanding your teaching, and then assimilating it and making it real, the third stage. Is it a question of purification of the mind?
No. Purification of the mind is something that's already taken in a fourfold qualification at the beginning. So to some extent that already must be there. This is a question of holding on to it. That means continuing to see that it is so. Right? Suppose I don't know who you were, and then somebody told me that's Swagata. That's Swagata. So now I know. Now if I maintain that alertness, this is Swagata in my mind, this is the third part of it. That's staying with it. See, I'm still seeing you anyway. Earlier I didn't know who you were. Now I know who you are. Now I continue to see who you are and keep it in my mind. This is Swagata. This is the staying with it. Earlier I thought I was this body mind. Now I know I am the awareness to which the body mind is appearing. And now if I stay with it, that's it. Who is the other one who raised the hand here? Let's at least hear the question. No more right now. The two persons here. Gentleman here and this gentleman here. Just ask the question. Tell us your name.
My name is Sanket. So in the session in the morning we were doing the exercise of eyes not being the same as the object that it is seen, right? So the physical eyes cannot see themselves, but you can see a reflection. So when you did that exercise of us stepping back, is it the mind acting like a mirror, or are we and actually seeing the Brahman behind it, or is it
no?
Seeing eyes in
All we did was a simple thing of directing and redirecting our attention. It's the mind, like focus. Focus on the cloth, the mind's attention is here. Now take the attention away to the eyes, the mind's attention is here. Take the attention from the eyes to the mind itself, thoughts. Mind's attention is on the thoughts. But all of these are being experienced right now. By what? Now the mind cannot objectify. You can't put the attention on the Atma. But you can notice that something is noticing. That an experience is going on. Then the mind will understand. And understanding, that will still come in the mind. But then the clarity will be there that I am not the body mind. You are manipulating the attention of the mind. Yeah.
Okay, one more question. So how do you practice this stepping behind when one is doing japa?
Don't do that. Remember, doing japa, you have been initiated, mantra diksha? Yes, don't do that. If it happens naturally, fine. Otherwise, when you have been initiated by the guru, That's a specific spiritual practice, powerful spiritual practice, visualization of the deity and repetition of the Ishta mantra. So in IT language they say firewall this practice, and don't listen to a new lecture, read a new book and keep modifying, upgrade. And the newer versions, poor guru has given you something, oh that was outdated, now I have upgraded it a lot. Don't do that. Exactly as the guru has given, to the best of our ability, hold on to it till God realization, even beyond. So firewall these practices. Let's just hear the question and we'll stop. Tell us your name and ask the question.
I'm Praveen, and I have a follow-up question from Harsh or something. Harsh or
Harsh.
Swagats. The question is that you refer to the consciousness like being more than one. Everybody is a different consciousness. So if it is Prajnanam Brahma and if it's Brihad and Anantam, how something Anantam can be divided into two?
Yeah.
My question is that you refer to that there is something to do with that in Sankhya. What is that reading? That
All right.
I would like to some citation.
Yes. So Sankhya is what is called Bahupurushavada, many consciousnesses. The Sankhya philosophy is primarily dualistic. There is a real world out there called Prakriti, universe, nature, that's real. And you and consciousness, you are real, your consciousness, and this consciousness and matter are different. The Purusha and Prakriti are different. And how many Purushas are there? How many consciousnesses are there? According to them, any number of consciousness, as many beings, so many different consciousnesses. Now you say, and they ask Vedanta, why do you say there's one consciousness? We are all different. So why would you say that there are one consciousness? Vedanta turns the question on just like you did. Vedanta asks the same question to Sankhya. Why do you say there are many consciousnesses? What are the arguments? So they gave about 4 or 5 arguments which are very easy to knock down. Here is one argument. If we were all one consciousness, then the birth of one person would be the birth of everybody. The death of one person would be the death of everybody if we are all one consciousness. But the answer is no. Birth and death are of the body. One body can die, another can remain alive. How does that change the fact that we are one consciousness? You see, birth and death of the body, not of consciousness, even in Sankhya. Then this next argument the Sankhyaans give is, well, for example, waking and sleeping. If we are all one consciousness, one person falls asleep, everyone would fall asleep. One person is awake, so everyone falls asleep in a Vedanta class, and it would be terrible. Because always 2 or 3 are sleeping, so everybody would fall asleep then. But again, our answer is no. Waking and sleeping are activities of the mind, not consciousness. Consciousness is the witness of the waking mind. Consciousness is equally the witness of the sleeping mind, dreaming mind. So like this they argue. All of those are easily dealt with. For example, they will argue, if all consciousness were one, then if one person is enlightened, everyone will become enlightened. But unfortunately that doesn't happen. My guru is enlightened, we should all become enlightened because we are one consciousness. Again we can answer, no. Ignorance and enlightenment are at the level of the mind. One mind may have ignorance, another might have knowledge. So why does that mean consciousness has to be many? Consciousness is one. So this is the kind of argument that goes on between Sankhya and Vedanta. We'll just chant the 11th and 12th verses which we just did once more and then go ahead. After me. Antakaranā tadvritti, Antakaranā tadvritti, Sakshi Chaitanya Vigraha, Sakshi Chaitanya Vigraha, Anandarupa Satyasan, Anandarupa Satyasan, Kignatmanam Prapadyase, Kignatmanam Prapadyase, Satyananda Swarupam Dhi, Satyananda Swarupam Dhi, Sakshinam Bodha Vigraham, Sakshinam Bodha Vigraham.